stage is set for Benjamin Netanyahu's controversial speech to Congress. The Israeli Prime Minister arriving in Washington with tensions between the White House and Israel at an all-time high. Republicans and Democrats now accusing each other of dangerous politics. Kevin Cork is live for us in Washington with the latest. Good morning, Kevin.
Good morning, ladies. You're right. This is pure political theater with very serious implications. And yes, it has been building to a crescendo with the Prime Minister's speech finally just about here. Now, the genesis of his opposition to the Obama administration's plan to have a nuclear arms deal with Iran is simply this. He says a bad deal is far worse than no deal at all. However, the White House says the deal will actually prevent Iran from getting a nuclear weapon. Now, as for the man who invited him to speak, Speaker John Boehner, he says it is a great time to hear from the Israeli Prime Minister.
It's been, frankly, remarkable to me to the extent to which, over the last 5 or 6 weeks, the White House has attacked the Prime Minister, attacked me, for wanting to hear from one of our closest allies.
Speaker John Boehner right there. As for the Secretary of State, John Kerry, he says, listen, it's not really about politics, and it's not even really about the timing. He says this is about not disrupting the process. Listen.
We don't want to see this turned into some great political football. Obviously, it was odd, if not unique, that we learned of it from the Speaker of the House and that an administration was not included in this process. But the administration is not seeking to politicize this.
And, of course, we will have continuous coverage right here in Washington as AIPAC continues. A very big deal happening right now in the nation's capital. Ladies?
So we've talked about the problems it is causing within political parties here. Is there concern that his visit will fracture U.S. ties with Israel?
I think it's a great question, actually, and I don't think there's really a long-term problem between the two nations. They're still very, very strong allies, but I do think, and I think objectively speaking, there is clearly a disconnect between the leadership in this country and the leadership in Israel right now, and that's really behind why the White House is so upset about the invitation. It says they don't want to influence this process as the election is upcoming. As for the long-term prognosis, I do think the two nations will be fine eventually after they get over this bit of bruised feelings. Ladies, back to you.
All right. Thank you, Kevin. Kevin Cork in Washington this morning.